Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here, back in another video. I thought that I did this one about M.K.'s ideal life or ideal world. I hope it doesn't sound too narcissistic of me. But once I'm actually uploading a video in my own room. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this video, and here goes. So yeah, thought I'd talk about some of my what I've been thinking about recently, like some of my idealisms, if you like, what sort of things I would do ideally. Again, hope it doesn't sound too narcissistic of me, but yeah. I unfortunately I do have a bit of a hoarding problem. So in a way, in an ideal world, I would be able to hoard, but obviously I don't want to get in other people's way or things like that. And obviously, I'm too much of a small person to actually challenge if people say you can't hoard or whatever. But anyway, so here are some of the things I would do, like on a daily basis if I could. Number one, I would love to live alone, as I've talked about before. Like, I think that would be a great way, like, to avoid conflicts or arguments or anything like that. And also I'd be able to focus on what I want to do in terms of like philanthropy, charitability, whatever you call it, and that sort of thing, and the voluntary work I'd like to do. So yeah, so that's one thing I'd love to do. I know I've mentioned before, I like to do things in patterns, or certain numbers remind me of certain things. I'm not actually that good at maths, but for some reason, like, certain numbers remind me of certain things, in spite of my weakness at maths, unfortunately. Second of all, not necessarily in order, but secondly, I would love to like upload videos. Like, these are things I would love to do for, most of these are things I would love to do for at least an hour a day, or as many as possible. Not sure why I did the quotation marks, but yeah. So I would love to live alone is one of the things, but I'd love to do that generally speaking, but like socialize from a safe distance, maybe like plan my day. So I could do that, like plan it out so that when I want to socialize, I can like plan that sort of thing. Secondly, I would love to like make YouTube videos, possibly for an hour or so each day. It's a bit of a difficult one, because I would make YouTube videos, as I said before, like as much as possible, or as long as possible, as often as possible. But obviously, I don't want to overwhelm people who watch it with uploads or whatever, or notifications. So that's a bit of a difficult decision. Like, it's a bit of a dilemma. But yeah, I'll probably upload videos for like at least an hour a day as well. Thirdly, not necessarily in order, but as I say, but yeah, thirdly, I'd love to like go into social media and type my plans and share them with people across Africa and Asia and around the world, like friends I've made around the world, and connections or contacts, family and friends, friends who are like family, that have in places like Kenya and around the world, Nigeria and places like that. And I'd love to make more friends from like parts of Asia as well, and other parts of Africa as well, and like connect with them, and like type my plans for the future, and like somehow communicate with them. I hope they'll be able to understand my ideas as much as possible, and hopefully my ideas will benefit them as much as possible. I help them with ideas about networking and things like that. So hopefully they'll be able to utilize those ideas as well as possible. Fourthly, I would love to like probably play, if I had the energy, I'd love to also wake up early and do a lot of these things, like play football for at least an hour a day as well. Again, if I could do more, I'd love to. All these things I'd love to do for at least an hour. If I could do more, or have more hours, if I could organize my time more and have more energy, I would love to do these things for as long as possible, for as many hours as possible. Number 5, I would love to like do philanthropy or charity work, like helping with the homeless or disabled people, maybe even like people who have been to prison, and like help them to reform. Like, a lot of people in prison have mental health problems or learning disabilities, just like myself. So I've been lucky not to go down that route, at least. But counting small mercies, or whatever they say. But yeah, so I'd love to help people who I could perhaps help to reform, and look at how they could get out of crime and that sort of thing. Maybe even work with them or write to them and like befriend them and that sort of thing. Give them like help them to find a purpose. Yeah, so that sort of thing. And again, volunteering with homeless people and disabled people and other groups. Number 6, I'd love to do like what I call swimming and gymming, if I could. I mean, I can barely do swimming for like that long, but I'd love to be able to get into a position, if I practice for long enough, as soon as possible, possibly by next year, maybe next August, which is my birth month next year, not in 2021, but in 2022. So giving myself just over a year, I could like focus on how I can organize these plans to achieve them. But I'd love to do like swimming and gymming, as I call it, for an hour each. Or again, if I could do more, and like as I practice, maybe I'll be able to do even more than an hour each of each of these things. But yeah, so I'd love to do those sorts of things. Number 7, ever since I was quite young, I've always been like a good walker, if you like. So I could walk to so many different places. Trying to keep this family friendly, but I know some people might replace the L with an N or something. But on a serious note, I always love to walk to places, so I'd love to do, like I say, at least an hour's walking. If I lived on my own, I'd probably, right now, a lot of time I walk the dog, but if I lived on my own, I'd probably just walk by myself, like walk to the gym or sometimes to the park or to the library, or different places, like just walk as much as I can for as many hours as I can, and maybe even do like walking for charity and that sort of thing. I'm trying to think of some other things I was, but yeah, so I think that pretty much covers everything that I would love to do. Obviously, or anything else would be a bonus. Obviously, there's only 24 hours in a day, and it depends on how much energy I have, how early I can wake up. If I can get myself to wake up earlier, I can actually do a lot of these things more easily. But hopefully, if I share these goals, and work on them, I can develop a way of putting them into practice. Like I'd love to have my own sort of a centre or a room I could go to, or a room within a centre where I could just like focus on these things, like doing an hour of writing and typing and YouTubing and whatever else each day. And there are probably other activities I would do, which I probably wouldn't mention on this YouTube video if I could. But anyway, I probably won't go into that right now. And I think that covers everything. I may have forgotten some points, but I'll probably post them in the comments below. As ever, please leave your comments, and I'm out. Peace and love.